Coming to you live from New York City, it's Jim Caruso's Pajama Cast Party. And now, here's your host, Jim Caruso.
All of a sudden, it wasn't me. Were you scared there for a minute? Welcome to Pajama Cast Party, ladies and germs. This is, I believe, our 41st or 42nd episode of this extravaganza. Very happy that you're here. Where do you see this cast? And where do you hear this cast? Brilliant. Thana Alexa, Bill Brooks, Lisa Lambert, and Ruby Lewis. For heaven's sake, it's a good cast. You're going to have so much fun. Okay, so much to talk about. So little time. Can we just talk for a few minutes about the Bernie memes? These things have me laughing constantly, and I know some people are over them, and I don't care. I just have two favorites. Oh, Ruby, would you bring up the first one? That is so horrifying. So there's that. And then this one, which I'm very proud of, my friend Matt Berman did this for us. That's from a show I did on Broadway with Liza Minnelli, not with Bernie Sanders. Pull it up one more time just so I can see. He has good legs, doesn't he? Very nice. Thank you, Matt. Okay, so last night, we've been talking about this for about a month. Birdland, which is the nightclub where we've been doing Cast Party for 18 years, and I produced the Broadway at Birdland concert series, and I've booked many shows there. Birdland, since it's been closed for 11 months, has really gotten into some financial trouble, as has every music room in the world. So a very kind soul named Tom Dangora asked if he could do a GoFundMe for the club. The owner, Johnny Valenti, gave him a thumbs up. So Tom and his partner, Michael Dangora, put this thing together. It's been wildly successful, but the best part was they created an online show. It aired, yes, Save Birdland. I love that Hirschfeld. Oh, it's so good. Show called Save Birdland, to the point. And it aired last night. This thing was so crazy star-studded. Well, just to give you an example, and we'll probably play the whole thing because I want you to know what it was about. Here's a little clip. This is the first thing you saw in our show, Save Birdland, last night.
I'm honored to add my voice to the very impressive group gathered tonight to save one of New York City and America's great cultural treasures, Birdland, and to support the small music venues and theaters that keep the arts alive. Ever since Birdland's namesake, Charlie Parker, headlined its opening in 1949, it's been one of the most important jazz clubs in the world, giving a stage to established legends and up-and-comers alike. I think Parker would have liked that. He was a young man in 1949. Last year, we celebrated the 100th anniversary of his birth. Now we celebrate in a world where the pandemic has taken a huge toll on small business, and especially on venues that rely on an audience to hear live music or see a play. But the desire to experience great art in person is a big reason why so many of us have taken this pandemic so seriously, so that we can once again safely enjoy the things we love, the things that connect us to our common humanity and make life more beautiful. With the development of multiple safe and effective vaccines, there is a light at the end of this tunnel. What a tragedy it would be to lose one of our great venues now when the end of the long nightmare is within reach. I know all of us want places like Birdland to be a part of our lives for the rest of our lives. I hope we want the same for our children. Just now, we have the opportunity to make sure that happens. And when the day comes that the clubs, theaters, and other venues can open their doors again, the music will sound even sweeter. Thank you.
Thank you. What the hell? Yeah. So these producers put together an incredible cast. It was, it started with Bill Clinton, and we had Sting, we had a quote from Billy Joel, we had great friends, Marilyn May and Billy Stritch, and great jazz players, Wynton Marsalis, and it was just extraordinary. So I can't thank them enough. Tom Dangora, Michael Dangora, Tim Guinea, Susie Mosier, Todd Johnson, and of course our owner Johnny Valenti made just a thrilling night. And you guys, we're almost to $400,000. What? So the good news is it looks like Birdland will keep flying high and be able to stay in business through all of this insanity. It was a great day. It was a great day. One portion of this virtual show celebrated Cast Party. That thing I do, and it was so fun because our friend Squigs, Justin Justin, right? Justin Squigs Robertson. Is a caricature artist. In fact, he's here tonight. But he did a little moment last night. We had segments with Christine Ebersole, Amanda Green, Colleen Ballinger, Lilius White. And here's what he did.
Hello, friends of Birdland. My name is Justin Robertson, also known as Squigs. I'm an illustrator celebrating the performing arts and the communities they create. The Birdland community is incredibly special, especially on Monday nights at Cast Party. On occasion, Jim invites me in for a special night when I'll draw each performer as they do their thing. It's my little way of cheering on this amazing community and hopefully helping out some great charities. So, when we're all back at Birdland in person, I hope to see you there. But in the meantime, here's some quick sketching of the fab folks you've just seen. Thanks so much for helping to keep Birdland in flight.
I love that so much. Okay, so thank you to the cast of characters who made it all happen, and also to the brilliant talent who didn't get a chance to show their stuff. That's really important to me. As it was, the show was 3.5 hours, and with the hordes of geniuses that we know and love, it could have gone on like 24/7. But thank you to anyone who has ever sung on any of our stages, and to everyone who's ever clapped and cheered from the house. It was a thrilling night, and here we go. Ruby, could you come in here, please?
Oh, Jim, yes, I can.
Oh, hey, how are you?
I'm good. Between inauguration and the Save Birdland show, I feel like I've been crying so many tears of joy this week.
I know.
Now I'm all cried out.
I know. It was we won't cry tonight, but it was very emotional. Oh, it was so sweet last night. Why do we do this? Why do we do Pajama Cast Party? Why, I ask you?
Why? After 42 weeks? Why?
Is it 42? This is the 42nd?
Yeah, I threw in a big banner when you were questioning it.
Oh.
I don't think you saw it, so it's okay.
Yeah. Well, we do it, to entertain the people because I don't know if you've heard, but there's a global pandemic, in the words of Julie Halston.
Yeah.
And this has just been there have been highlights during this time, but it's essentially just a weird, awful, anxious time.
Yeah.
And it's been so great first of all, for us to have a gig. That's thrilling. But to be able to perform, to be able to bring incredible talent to the audience has just been a joy. So we do have Venmo and PayPal. If you'd like to make a donation tonight, a nice percentage of that donation will go to the Save Birdland Fund. So we can keep Birdland, a gorgeous, beautiful music room, flying high. So if it's $1, if it's $5, if it's $10, $1,000, we're fine with that. Just let us know. Ruby, what do you have to say about it?
Well, I mean, any bit helps, as we've seen, especially with the Birdland GoFundMe. Most of the donations, aren't incredibly large. They're $5, $10, $50, but because so many people are coming together, we're almost at 400,000. So we truly do appreciate anything that you can give. Times are hard for everybody right now. Completely understand that, but we are always thankful every single week for your continued generosity. And we actually sell a shower curtain.
This would be a good time to show what we were. Yeah, let's show this. This is one of our guests tonight.
Yes.
Tony-winning Lisa Lambert. Let's see some of this swag. She got the mask. She got the hoodie. And ladies and gentlemen, she got the shower curtain. She's the one.
I mean, it looks like it works.
It does. We'll have to ask.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's all kinds of crap. And look at this. Come on. The biggest mug in America. Literally. That was my workout, what I just did. I feel muscly. Okay. So as I said earlier, our friend Justin Squigs Robertson shows up quite often and does these gorgeous quick sketches of what happens during Pajama Cast Party. That's his website right there. It's amazing. And if you need a special gift for somebody, I'm just saying, he's a genius. But he's here tonight and he's drawing us right now, and he's going to draw all the performers tonight. Yeah. Can we, Ruby, I love it when we look over his shoulder while he's drawing. Can we do that?
Yeah, and he told me there's a surprise in this week's drawing, so I wasn't allowed to ask. So we'll look together.
Okay. Oh, that's you.
That's me.
Oh no, Bernie. Bernie's everywhere.
Oh my God, Squigs, this is pure art. This is amazing.
That is epic. God, I love my chin.
I wish
that were my chin. I like that he thinks that's my chin, though. Bless him. Well, he's going to be drawing everybody tonight. So it's, oh God, those are my eyebrows.
And while we're on the topic of Bernie, can I show my personal favorite that I've seen over the last few days?
Yeah.
We showed it on Virtual Halston, but I know sometimes the audience crossover is not always there, so I figured we should show it.
Julie Halston. Julie Halston looks like she's doing the worst ventriloquist act in the world. That is kind of brilliant. Julie, that's a show. It's called Virtual Halston every Friday right here on the Cast Party Network. Oh, that's right. This coming Friday, Jesse Tyler Ferguson and Justin Makita.
Gonna be so good.
So good. They're so fun. Okay. Let's do a show. Enough of this. Enough of this blather, for God's sake. Shut up and sing. Okay. I am uber thrilled to introduce you to our first singer. Her recent album called Ona is nominated for 2 Grammy Awards this year. Here is the glorious Thana Alexa.
Hi, Jim. I want to hug you through the screen.
I know, please do.
Oh,
it
please.
Might be awkward, but we'll do it.
Okay.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's so nice to see you. Really.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I still keep, I mean, it's so crazy that I keep waiting for somebody to call me just to tell me, I'm sorry, there was a mistake. One of those COVID internet things.
Oh, nice, nice. Is this your first nomination?
It is. So my album, Anna, was nominated for Best Jazz Vocal Album. And then Regina Carter, an incredible violinist, was nominated for Best Improvised Jazz Solo on one of my compositions. Hi, Nicole. Nicole's here.
Nicole Zaritis. She's on the album.
Oh my God, my husband's here too.
Oh,
yes, they're both on the album.
I love that. I love it. I love your whole album is here. Well, the Jane Monheit, come on. The album is gorgeous, as you would expect. Look, there it is.
That Ruby. Wow.
Ruby's on it. Tell me about the title, Ona.
So Ona in Croatian, which is my family's native language, is basically translates to she, and the album is. It started as kind of a way of bringing together the two most prominent female voices in my life, which are my paternal grandmother and my mother. And I started writing music based on the stories of their life and the matrilineal lineage of our family. And then it just kind of branched out into the stories of women everywhere in contemporary society. So Ona is one woman, she. Me, but one woman is also all women. So we all have a very similar experience in that we are women no matter where we are in the world. So it's really an album of women's empowerment.
Oh my gosh, what a beautiful story. Now, are they here in this country? Did they?
So my grandmother is, and she was a refugee. She came to the States after communism. She escaped communism with my father when he was very young. But my mother was first generation American, born here in New York. And I was born in New York and then moved to Croatia when I was in high school or in junior high, and then finished junior high and high school over there, and then came back for college and stayed after college. But my parents still live in Croatia full time. And so, my life is kind of here and there. So I have these two very big and important parts of me, which also include music. The music of the Balkans, the music of Croatia is a very big part of me, as is, American jazz. So I kind of, with this record, I brought together not only the female voices, but the musical influences with a lot of Balkan sounds and world music and jazz and a little bit of pop influence. So it's an interesting combination. It's kind of like me in a musical gesture.
Perfect. Well, what a wonderful time to celebrate immigrant women.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how did the idea come about?
Sorry, say that again.
How did the idea come about?
So I went to the Women's March in Washington in January of 2017, and I was so taken aback. And actually, I went with Nicole, and I was so taken aback by the stories of women, because before we actually started marching, there were a bunch of speeches and really, really inspiring words that were spoken by these really wonderful women. And it just started, getting my wheels were turning about women's stories and women's ideas. And also it was right in the heat of the Me Too movement, right in kind of the beginning. And this idea of women's stories, and then women's stories not always being believed and respected. And so through the music, I really just wanted to, pay tribute to where women have gotten to at this point. It's not an album about hating men. It's not about that. It's about really celebrating the evolution of women and where we are today, starting from those small nucleus of the women in my family who, fought across generations and cultures to get to this point where I could be born the woman that I am and feel free enough to create a work like this.
Beautiful. Well, you work with some great women. We said Nicole Zaritis and your group Sonica with Julia
Adamy. Mm-hmm.
Adamy. Oh my gosh, it's such a beautiful group.
Thank you.
I love what you do with Sonica so much. And tell me about the virtual jazz festival that you've been producing.
So when the pandemic hit in March, It was right around the time that I had released my Ona album. I released it 2 weeks after, 2 weeks into the New York lockdown. So all of my tours were canceled. The whole year just went up in flames. And I saw obviously the same thing was happening with everyone that I knew. And a friend of mine, an amazing vocalist named Serintip, she started a personal GoFundMe. It was around the time of her birthday, and she said, I'm going to start a GoFundMe and raise money for my friends who lost all their gigs. This was when we thought this was just going to be a month long.
Right. Remember that?
Remember that?
I was so upset. I remember talking to Billy Stritch because we were working every week at the Carlisle Hotel. And I was like, how are we going to do this for like a whole month with not a penny coming in? And we were like almost crying. How could this even happen? Cut to a year later.
Ugh. Oy, oy, oy.
We did it. We somehow figured it out.
This amazing, wonderful woman, Serintip, started this personal GoFundMe. A friend of hers, Owen Broder, great saxophonist, saw her GoFundMe and said, I have this idea of putting together some kind of a virtual festival. Maybe we could marry the two ideas and, raise money for your fundraiser by doing a festival. And she said, I have this really, close friend, Thana, who kind of knows the nonprofit world and things about that. So maybe let's bring her on board and let's see what we can figure out. And in a 3-week turnaround, we put together what Rolling Stone called the first jazz festival of the pandemic. And we had, it was unbelievable. And, the three of us we actually, Owen and I hadn't even met in person. It was a friend of this mutual friend of ours. And so anyway, the three of us banded together and we created this 7-day festival to benefit New York City musicians. And we had, Chick Corea, Christian McBride, Joe Lovano and Julie Silvano, Linda Mahan O, Becca Stevens, Michael Mayo. I mean, it was so through the roof. Julian Lage. I mean, it was unbelievable how everybody really just immediately, there was no question of
right
what or how or what.
Right.
Also Bill Frisell. I mean, it was unbelievable. And so many of these wonderful people wanted to help New York because everyone who plays jazz comes through New York at some point, whether or not they live here or not. There's a special place that New York has in your heart when you're a musician of any kind, I think. And so we did this wonderful first festival and we raised a whole bunch of money and we were able to give 67 performance grants through our nonprofit partner, Music Talks, who Elad Kabilio. So Elad helped us out to help, basically became our nonprofit partner so that we could solicit tax-deductible donations. And it was just a beautiful family event.
It's great.
And then we decided to do 2 more series because we saw that the pandemic was not going anywhere.
Right.
So then in June, we actually partnered with the DC Jazz Festival and presented their DC Jazz Fest from home to benefit DC area musicians. And then in July, we did a creative summit, which was a 12-day, essentially jazz camp and festival. And I mean, that was very ambitious. I mean, and at that point, we didn't want anybody to play for free anymore. But the idea was that, we would like to hire you to participate. We want to basically hire you to do what you do, but with the understanding that a portion of your earnings will funnel back into the fundraiser and help solicit another round of grants.
This is fantastic. And I have to tell you, this can go on forever, long after. I mean, I don't know if you want to produce this forever, but these things are, global, and you're bringing New York musicians and musicians from all over the world, kind of like what we did last night, to an audience that might never get to Birdland. They might never get to these rooms. So you're really doing a great, great service.
Thank you. So if anybody would like to still donate, you can go to www.livefromourlivingrooms.com and donate to help musicians. Where we took a little bit of a break at the end of last year, and now we're kind of starting to talk about what our 2021 plans are. So stay tuned for that.
Amazing.
And, I mean, I have to tell you, especially about the concert last night, that the Save Birdland concert, it really It was so special, and such a wide range of musicians and musical talents.
I'll say.
It was unbelievable. I mean, it was really just this huge, like, melting pot of love and music and wonderfulness. And it actually, I had planned what I was going to do tonight, and it kind of made me decide on something else.
Oh, really? What are you going to do?
Yes. Well, because it made me think about New York, and it made me think about how much I love Birdland, and how much I love New York, and it's just not the same as it, as the New York that we know, where we can go out any night and walk into those Birdland doors and see some incredible music. And so it just made me want to give New York a little bit of a tribute. So I'm going to do a solo piece. So what I have behind me is this very extravagant little setup.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what I do is I work with a looping and effects pedal. So I loop my voice live and create harmonies and rhythms and things like that. And then
I love it. Do it.
All right. So here we go.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
I'm going to introduce the song because you're going to know it the minute I start.
Oh.
Maybe not the minute I start, but a little bit into it.
Okay.
Oh no. Hold on. Okay, here we go.
Some folks like to get away, take a holiday from the neighborhood, hop a flight to Miami Beach or to Hollywood. But I'm taking a Greyhound on the Hudson River line. I'm in New York, state of mind. I've seen all the movie stars in their fancy cars and their limousines, been high in the Rockies under the evergreen. But I know what I'm needing, and I don't want to waste more time. I'm in a New York state of mind. It was so easy living day by day. I'd tried with the rhythm and blues. the New York Times, the Daily News. It comes down to reality, and it's fine with me, 'cause I'll let it slide. Don't care if it's Chinatown or on Riverside. No, I don't have any reasons. I've left them all behind. I'm in New York. New York, stay home, stay home, stay home, stay home.
Whoa. You're like so magical.
Oh, thank you, Jim.
I'm texting with people. They're like, it's like Narnia. It's like so gorgeous.
Oh,
So gorgeous. Oh, Jackie, Joseph, Danielle. You're just beyond
oh, you are.
gorgeous
And
and
thank you so
magical.
much
And
for having me. You
can't
really,
thank you
yesterday,
enough.
it just made me miss New York and miss you. And, it just,
Where are you right now?
I'm in my little studio in my house
Where?
in Queens.
Oh, you're in New York. Okay.
Yes, I live in Jackson Heights in Queens, Team Queens
Nice.
City.
Well, God, when are the Grammys?
The
So we can-
Grammys have now been moved to March 14th. So they were supposed to be January 31st,
Yes.
and I think they made the smart decision to postpone. What with the rising cases in Los
Yes.
Angeles. So it's still not clear whether or not it's going to be. It's still not clear whether or not it's going to be in person in any fashion. Whether there's going to be a red carpet, but we have a really, really great plan. We're going to get a small group of people together, Nicole included, and we're going to rent a schnazzy hotel suite, bring our own red carpet, and watch the Grammys there.
Good for you. We will be sending so much luck and such good energy. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me. Big hugs and kisses.
You too. Oh, how do we find you? Is ThanaAlexa.com?
My website, ThanaAlexa.com, and everything is there. Or at Thana Alexa on Instagram.
Perfect.
Thanks, Jim.
We'll see you soon. Thank you. Magical. She's magical. Don't forget, we have to pay for this platform. We have to pay for my wig. Yeah, it's still on. And we appreciate donations. And this week, We always pick an organization to that needs help, and this week we are sending a nice donation to Save Birdland. Okay, this is very important. I first met our next guest in 1977. That sounds so long ago. I was doing shows at the Dallas Repertory Theater in Texas, and right outside of the theater was this nightclub called the Montana Mining Company. I remember this like it was yesterday. A bunch of us walked in. We were doing Carnival, the musical Carnival. We've talked about that already tonight. Who mentioned Carnival? Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, that's later. I was doing Carnival, and we walked in, and there was a stage in this cool nightclub, and we saw the coolest people any of us had ever seen playing rock and pop and Steely Dan and originals. They were a family band called the Brooks, and we literally all became groupies. They were ridiculously talented, funny, and nice. And even though most of us haven't seen each other for years, I cannot turn on the radio without hearing something that they performed or remembering those fabulous nights of music. The superstar guitar player singer in the group was Bill Brooks, and I can't tell you how happy I am to bring him to you tonight. Bill Brooks. Ta-da!
Jimmy, how are you?
Oh, how are you?
Doing great.
Was that effusive enough?
What's that? Oh, yes, thank you. That was awesome. Wow. Yeah, it has been a while, but those were fun times. Those were great times.
Were fun times. Except I see you and I feel like I need a strawberry margarita.
Yeah,
that was my beverage of choice at the time. Ugh.
They did them well there.
They did them well there. That's true. How are you? How's your life?
My life is great. I'm blessed. We are not completely shut down. I'm still able to play music. My bigger band, Moving Colors, has been kind of dead in the water for the past year. We've only done like 1 or 2 dates, but we've sized down a version of that years ago called Missing 3 because we're missing 3 members of Moving Colors. And so we've been able to play it as a 3-piece in some of the venues around here that have the budget for some, smaller acts.
Mm-hmm. And you're in Dallas, or you're still in Texas, obviously. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So tell the audience about the Brooks.
All right. The Brooks started out as a 3-piece all-girl band, and they managed to make it on the Ed Sullivan Show, and they were on 2 different performances there, and then that led them to more shows, doing state fair engagements with the Osmonds, Red Skelton, Roy Clark, just a wide array of different talents. And then shortly, about a few years after that, I joined the act, and my brother-in-law Barry, as you know, we joined and changed from the Brooks sisters to the Brooks.
Look at them! Look at them!
Yeah, and so anyway, we played together for a number of years. That's where you came into the picture and saw us at Montana Mining Company, and then that was another couple of years I branched out on my own and put together a band called Backstreet, and it transformed into a couple of other bands. And anyway, still playing.
You work nonstop. Now, it's always been my goal to be in a family band. Everybody that knows me knows it. I wanted to be a partridge. I wanted to be a cowsill, or I wanted to be, that.
I did too.
Okay. So that is, no, bring it back, Ruby. So that is Merrill Osmond, you, Jay Osmond, your sister Annette, and Donnie Osmond.
Yep. That was us.
The hell was going on there?
We were, that was at one of the state fair engagements in Topeka, Kansas, actually. And, we became good friends with the Osmonds, and we would hang out with them and go ride the rides with them in between shows. And anyway, it was great times, great family. We've been friends with them for a while, but lost contact, obviously. But
Yeah.
that was one talented family there.
Oh my gosh! You know, Donnie has come to Cast Party, and he still sings his head off. I begged my mother for brothers and sisters until she was well into her 80s. It might be time to let that dream go, but I'm still a little jealous.
Never give up, Jim. Never.
No, never give up. Never give up. Okay, so you went on to really successful bands. After the Brooks, you were in Backstreet. Oh, great picture of Backstreet, Ruby. Come on.
Yeah, Backstreet was a fun band. That was magical. It was. We had immediate success once we got the two cousins, Chris and Robin, together and formed a band. We had some investors that invested into us an album. We had our own nightclub. We went on to do the show Star Search, and we're up against Sawyer Brown, lost by a quarter of a point, and later on changed our name to Boyfriend, and we had a couple of local hits in Dallas. So that was a fun ride.
And then Moving Colors, and then Missing 3, and so you just. I know you were working a lot before this pandemic, like constantly, right?
Yeah.
And I see pictures all the time. You seem to enjoy your job.
I do. I love it. It's my passion.
What's going on there?
I'm not sure what I'm seeing. Oh, there. I do this little gimmick where I stand on my hands, or it's actually a tiger stand. I lay the guitar down and I do a solo while I'm upside down. It's
like
fun.
you do. Like you do.
Yeah. It's a fun little gimmick. It's I still somehow I'm able to do it.
And the crowd and the crowd goes wild.
Yeah.
I want you to sing. I want you to play and sing for us. What are you going to do?
I'm going to do a song that's one of my it's by Fleetwood Mac, one of my favorite all-time bands, and the guy who co-wrote it with Steve, let's see, what's her name? Christy McVie. It was actually a song written way back when Fleetwood Mac first started in '68. Peter Green, I think, wrote it, but it was revamped later in '74 by Lindsay and Christy, and it's called World Turning. And anyway, Lindsay's one of my all-time favorite guitar players, so I had to learn this song at some point in my career, so I just learned it not too long ago. So it's called World Turning. And here we go. Everybody's trying to see I'm wrong. I just want to be back where I belong. World turning, I've got to get my feet back on the ground. World turning, yeah. Everybody's got me down. Maybe I'm wrong, but who's to see what's right? I need somebody to help me through the night. World turning, yeah. I've got to get my feet back on the ground. World turning, everybody's got me down. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm saying what's right. I need somebody to help me through the night. World turning, yeah. I've got to get my feet back on the ground. World turning, everybody's coming down, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Bill,
you.
You sound great.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Man, what a treat to hear you again. Oh,
Thank
Nicole loves you. Everybody loves you.
Thank you so much for
What a joy to have you on the show.
The group tonight.
What fun. What fun. So what's next for you? What's happening?
Dinner. I'm going to go in there and have dinner and do stuff. Let's see. I have actually been picking up some solo gigs around locally, just to, supplement the income, and hoping that, things open up even more so for Moving Colors to jump back in and start playing live again, and just cutting hair during the day. And that's my second passion. And,
you're a man of many, many talents. Were you cutting hair back in the day?
No.
I didn't
I was just back when we were hanging out. I was just full-time musician.
Right.
And then transferred.
You were growing hair. You were definitely growing hair.
Yeah.
At that point.
Well, I still got some up here.
No, I see.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Haven't gone yet.
You look amazing. You still got your vibe. Look, everybody's loving what you do. Bill, come back and hang with us sometime.
Well, I'm going to do more than that. I'm going to come up to New York and visit you.
Nothing.
We're going to hang out here.
Okay, yeah. You got it.
Ruby, thank you again. I want to thank her.
She's the greatest.
Yeah.
Please tell your family hi.
I will do so. Thank you.
Your wife, your daughter, your sisters, your brother-in-law. Tell them, give them all my love.
And the grandkids.
Oh, I can't even.
We'll see you.
Begin. Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bill Brooks. That is such a treat for me, you guys, to be able to bring him on, to introduce you to old friends like that. What a thrill. Again, Venmo, PayPal. Do it. There you go. It's my big pitch. Okay. One of my all-time favorite musicals on Broadway was a very clever show called The Drowsy Chaperone. If you don't know, really, what are you doing here? But in case you're from Jupiter, I'll tell you that The Drowsy Chaperone is a musical with a book by Bob Martin and Don McKellar, with music and lyrics by Greg Morrison and Lisa Lambert. This was on Broadway in 2006 and won 5 Tony Awards for its creators and cast, and has been touring the world ever since. Well, the recipient of one of those Tony Awards is joining us tonight. She's a cast party fave. She's a Birdland fave. She's a fave rave in general. Here is Lisa Lambert.
Wait, there we go.
Yeah. All right. Wait.
Hi.
Hold on. Wait, we have to do it all.
Oh, yeah. Hello. Hang on a second.
Hello.
Hello.
It's the photo
Okay, hang
op.
on. Whoa. Oh, this is just kind of.
Oh, God. For
just a minute.
God's
okay, here we go. And.
Yeah. Okay.
We did it? Okay, good.
Yeah. I'm exhausted from that.
I am. I can't breathe. Hi. Hi, Rick.
Hi, Canada person. You're
Hello.
in Canada.
Yes.
How's it going there?
Oh, good. It's great. I've got a balcony and a view, and I've got spider friends, and I'm all good.
Can we see the view? Can you turn around?
You know what? If I do that, it will all explode.
Everything.
Everything.
Totally understand.
The lights will go out, and
oh no, God no. We'll all come over later and check it out.
If you know the CN Tower in Toronto, that's what I'm looking at.
Oh, for God's sake!
Yeah.
Well, you're a Tony winner. That's how people like that live.
Exactly.
Okay.
Hi.
Can we talk about? I mean, you know, all I really ever want to do is talk about Drowsy Chaperone, but we will talk about other things.
I know things. I know things about the Drowsy Chaperone.
You do. First of all, it's one of I love it. The score, the book,
There it is.
the poster, the cast. It made big stars of Sutton Foster, Danny Burstein, Beth Level, in case they weren't big enough stars already. But it just elevated everybody. And of course, your brilliant writing partner, Bob Martin, who played Man in Chair.
Oh, the Bob.
And of course, I've become Man in Chair.
Yeah.
I never leave the corner of my bedroom at this point.
I know you always identify with that character. You did.
But I kind of did because it's kind of like this weird Broadway fanatic, but he's agoraphobic, right?
Yeah. He loves the theater, but he hates to go.
Right.
You know,
it's so brilliant. I mean, what a genius concept. Wouldn't he be in his glory during this quarantine? Oh my God.
Yeah, this is actually, you know, of the writers, we always talk about this, of the writers of Drowsy, I kind of am the most like Man in Chair. So I'm doing kind of okay. Like I've got all my little things I can listen to and my little tidbits and my stuff and yeah.
I'm a little bit that way too. I certainly miss hanging out and going to restaurants and stuff, but I've been strangely okay. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but whatever. He has this, I mean, I just love the conceit of it all. He listens to his favorite musical, which is from 1928 called The Drowsy Chaperone, and it all comes to life around him. You guys, if you haven't seen it, first of all, get the album. But the show within a show structure can be so weird and trite and unsurprising. How did you keep it so bright and fresh and funny?
Well, we discovered it as we went along. When we initially started doing the show in Toronto, he wasn't literally playing a record. It was almost like if this musical was happening and this man started to kind of creep his way through it. It wasn't until as we developed it that we became very literal about he's listening to a record.
I see.
If you saw that in Toronto, it was almost like, what is that guy doing on the stage with these people?
Because he's kind of in brown and tweed
totally,
and
kind
of bland looking.
What nicely about it too was that there were 6 couples and he was number 13. It kind of, and that again was just happened. You know, it was a lot of little serendipities.
It so could have been a Carol Burnett sketch that goes on too long. I mean, it could so have been that. But the brilliance of you guys is that it just kept growing and getting funnier and more clever and bigger and bigger. And what a heart. It has such a great heart.
Well, I got to say, going from the Toronto sort of development of it to New York, Casey Nicola was a big part of keeping the sketch comedy energy while, keep maintaining it as an actual musical. Was the line, because you don't want to lose the sketch comedy fun, which is where it kind of sprung from. So it's a very fine line to, as you were saying, that it could slip into a sketch, but you don't want it to lose that feel.
Yeah. And you won a damn Tony.
Yeah. I know. It's funny you say that, and the image always comes. Oh man, there it is. The hair. You know what? To this day, there was some confusion, and I didn't get to the hairdressers, and so that was just me. Seriously, me with a hairdryer. Because I was staying at a place at the time. I didn't have my own apartment, so it was like the power was bad. The hairdryer didn't really work. It was like blowing cold air, and that was. And I was like, I'm going to the Tony. This is the worst I've ever done my hair. Like,
no, you look so cute.
Well, it's sincere. And I bought that dress at the top floor of Macy's.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. Well, now the Tonys has become the Oscars.
Yeah.
I remember this is a heinous name drop, and I'm sorry, but I went to a Tony luncheon with Liza Minnelli because we were doing a show together. And she was like, wow, holy Toledo. It used to be there was a Tony lunch and you ate chicken a la king. And then a couple days later, you went out and you bought a dress and you went to the Tonys. Now it's Hollywood, and there's There's stylists doing your clothes and your hair and your jewelry and your this and your that. And she was stunned that it had gotten so enormous.
Yeah. When we did the Tonys, I remember the actresses in our show there was attention paid to what they were going to wear and how they're going to look. And Greg Morrison and I we put a little word in going, it's already, and it was like, you're on your own.
Nice.
Greg's got a really good style. He has little flourishes and things he can do. And I was just like, I guess I go to Macy's. I don't know.
But the top floor of Macy's.
Top floor.
So you're very top floor.
A sales rack on the top.
The rack where the buttons are pulled off, and I'll take it.
A little bit.
And you've traveled the world, I know, seeing the show. The show has gone, huge productions, but you'll also go to a high school to see it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I've seen some, I saw a high school production with you one time, I believe. Yes. And it was quite lovely. And I've seen some community theater productions. I was just thinking, because it's Robbie Burns Day today, I saw a production in Scotland, in Girvan, Girvan, Scotland. It was a community theater production. And I actually, this is name dropping, I went with Kim Cattrall to Girvan to see a community theater production of Drowsy, and they didn't know she was coming. So I basically arrived with Kim Cattrall in this little town, lovely people, but there was no warning. So they weren't sure what.
Was it like waiting for Guffman?
Yeah.
It must have been hilarious.
Well,
and plus, they're doing a show you wrote. So it was like a double whammy for them.
Yeah, they were already a little bit like, why are you here with me?
I remember those kids at that high school being so hyped because it was a high school of, not of the performing arts, but like really high
smart kids.
It was the smart kids school.
Yeah.
And they were smart and they were talented. Remember?
They were really good. I've seen some amazing stuff at high schools. Like you see these little moments of inspiration, and you're like, man, these people are gonna go far. They're gonna be telling us what to do very soon.
Oh, that just makes my day.
Yeah.
Well, what's the scene in Toronto like now? I don't mean right now because there's a global pandemic.
Yeah, there's a global.
But you're living in Toronto most of the time at this point. And what's the theater scene?
It's the same as New York. There's a thriving theater scene here, but everything is shut down. I'm actually very close to a great theater called Soul Pepper. That's if there was a show happening, I could use my apartment at intermission. But there's no theater.
Damn.
But yeah, no, it's a great theater scene in Toronto, but everything is shut down, and probably in the summer slowly things will start to come back.
Yeah. Well, you did a lot of TV, right? You were writing for TV and
a lot of theater, a lot of sketch comedy, and then I was lucky, a little bit of TV, but lucky enough to write some of the songs for Slings and Arrows, which is a TV series that was here in Canada, and then I think it's shown quite often in the States as well. Actually, New York really likes. It's about theater, behind the scenes at a theater festival, and
incredibly successful.
Yeah. So those little songs. Yeah.
Did you grow up wanting to be like Rosemary on the Dick Van Dyke Show, or Imogene Coca, or Betty Comden, one of those smart, quick talking gals that writes clever?
Rosemary, we've talked about this. I mean, the other ones too, absolutely. But Rosemary, because I was Dick Van Dyke Show, I was watching that when I was tiny. So she was this image of, what is that? I think that might be me.
You just need a little black velvet bow.
You know what? I was looking for one tonight. I was going to put it on for you.
You put on such a fabulous show for us at Birdland a few years ago on your birthday. Look at that.
Oh, man. That's hilarious.
A standing ovation.
That blue dress I found at a really neat sale, I think in Brooklyn, if I recall.
And a little white go-go boot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Those are maybe too tall to be go-go, but they're very go-go to me.
That was a fun night.
Was that, do you want to perform more, or do you perform just enough for, like every couple of years you'll do something? Or
I like doing what I'm doing now. I like doing what I did at Birdland. I like every so often hosting a night, singing some ditties and introducing some people, and once in a while. But the idea of a structured, rigid I can't imagine that. The 8 shows a week. Not that I would ever be asked to do that, but it was very soon I realized that I don't have that kind of performing instinct.
Right.
I really want it like that.
You'd be good at this, talking to other people.
I'm talking because you make it easy. No, you don't. You underestimate. By the way, I have a verse for you. You one time you were saying how you like to bring people together. You're like a yenta.
Yes.
And so I said, well, I called you a name, but here's a little verse. This is for you.
Okay.
A guy who can sing really high sings for Jim. And then Jim says to him, do my show. I got friends you should know. That's entertainment.
Oh my God.
That's for you.
Squigs, you have to incorporate that into the sketch tonight.
I got a second verse.
Oh, hello.
A star who can strum a guitar needs a hand. In assembling a band, Jim has chums with pianos and drums. The world is his stage, and Jim is the sage of entertainment.
Oh my God. My phone is blowing up. People are thrilled. That is hilarious. Do something. Now it's all about you. Do something.
Okay, what I'm going to do,
Yes.
I am now going to sing squawk,
Yeah.
3 brief songs in a medley that I've entitled Questions Answered.
All right. It's Lisa Lambert.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I know the way. I know the way to San Jose. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. I'll take you there. I've got time to spare. Let me in. Let me in. Let me in your car. I will join you. It's not far. I can be your driving guide. Let's go for a ride. I'm a girl who gives directions. I give them nice and slow. I can find connections. Let's put the pedal to the metal and go, go, go. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I know the way from San Jose to San Tropez. Do you think I'd steer you wrong? Let me come along. In the bathroom closet, right beside the towels, you will see a zip top baggie filled with dowels. Underneath that baggie, by the rubber glove, there is love. We're hiding from a virus, and help is far away. That's how things are in Glockamora this fine day. The pubs are closed for business. You can't buy bloody beer. That's how things are in Glockamora this new year. We spend our evenings dreading the deadly, deadly flu. We're steering clear of leprechauns because they can spread it too. The young can't hug their grannies. The whole damn town is masked. That's how things are in Glockamora. Mighty glad you asked. The end.
Everybody clap at home. Do you feel the love coming from these United States?
I aspire to be the next poet laureate of the United States.
You should have been at the inaugural.
That's the only thing they were missing was...
Right after that lovely girl, the poet laureate of the universe, and then here comes Lisa.
Position, yeah.
They missed a bet, is all I can say. Next time. Lisa, who's more fun than you? That would be nobody.
I
can't wait for your next New York trip.
Yeah, I think what all this is about is I think I want to do a funny Birdland show. This is what all this nonsense is.
Okay. Well, I know people.
Good.
I actually am people in that
You
in
are.
that situation. Yeah. Look, Bill Westmoreland, he loves you. Rick loves you. Everybody loves you.
I'm usually on the chat, but I couldn't handle two things at once.
Yeah, it's awkward. You're just the best. Thank you for entertaining us and for so many years and for being such an incredible support. And your shower curtain, can we just say your taste in shower curtains?
It works great. I never take the sweatshirt off. It's the most comfortable thing. I drink
let's see. Is that what you're wearing right now? I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
For God's sake.
Yeah, it's so comfortable. The mug has everything I need, and the shower curtain works beautiful. It's all good.
Let's see Ruby. Can we see the shower curtain one more time? I just have to see that somebody actually bought the shower curtain. Ruby has left the building. And I'll put these. There they are.
Yeah, and I had a shower curtain there before that was terrible.
Oh well, I'm glad we could be of service.
It was just like it was magical. Yeah.
You're magical. Thank you.
See you soon.
Bye. Questions answered by Lisa Lambert. Once again, Venmo, PayPal, send it on in. We got to pay for this, the platform that we're doing. And then make a nice donation to Birdland to keep that place floating. Okay, where do you meet our next guest? I think we first met a few years ago when she was starring on Broadway in an extravaganza that was, I'm still weak in the knees from that show. It was called Paramore. It was extraordinary. Please welcome her to Pajama Cast Party. Look, it's Ruby Lewis.
Hi.
How long were you sitting there doing that?
I've been doing it the whole time just to warm up, just to get, because I'm in my garage and it's cold here.
Are you in your garage? That's so funny.
Yeah, I turned my garage into a kind of a studio space and I'm testing it out tonight.
Are you in Las Vegas?
I am.
And it's cold there?
It's unseasonably cold.
Last time I was in Las Vegas, it was 113 degrees.
It snowed here today.
Oh, wow. That's rare, right?
Yes, it didn't snow at my house, but I've been told that on the west side where it's a little higher elevation, yeah, they got some snow.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. How's Vegas?
It's fine. It's been I've been able to perform here and there. Some of the smaller rooms are open with limited capacity, so it's been nice to actually have kind of an artistic outlet here where I live.
Great.
Yeah.
That's great. I love it there so much. But I didn't meet you there. I met you here. Am I right?
I was living in New York when I met you. Yes, just right. Yeah. I think a block away from Birdland. I was so fortunate to have an apartment there at the time.
Right. Okay. So I think you first went to Las Vegas from LA for the Baz Luhrmann show.
That is correct. Yeah. That's what led to Paramore, really.
Yeah, but tell the people about that Baz Luhrmann show.
Oh man, we've been doing these For the Record shows going on 8 years now. And when I was in Los Angeles, I was just dying for a musical theater crew. And I was showing up to this little bar in Los Feliz.
I love that bar.
Yeah. And it was just on Monday nights, you could bring your book and you could just sing from your book. And I was trying to stay fresh and I just needed my musical theater. So I got on the sign up sheet or the mailing list. And then I heard about these auditions for the Record. And I became part of the company a little over 7 years ago. I'm sorry, they've been doing the shows for 10 years. I've been doing it for 7. And Baz was one of the shows that ended up going really far. It got picked up. We went to a nightclub at the time. It was called DBA in West Hollywood. And then some producers from Cirque du Soleil Theatrical picked it up, wanted to take it to Vegas, and I went with it. And that's how the Cirque du Soleil Theatrical connection started. And then they were putting up a show on Broadway and I flew out. And that's how that happened. It was really awesome.
Mean, talk about a juggernaut. The Cirque du Soleil company chooses you to star in a Broadway show. That was your first Broadway show, right?
Yeah, it was my debut.
Yeah.
It was really wild too, because the show Paramore was about a girl in LA, Los Angeles, who was seen performing in a nightclub and was thrust into stardom because the director, played by Jeremy Kushner, spotted her in this nightclub and said, come be in my movies. And it was weird because that's kind of what happened. I was singing in this nightclub in LA, and then Scott Zeiger, at the producer of Cirque Theatrical at the time, was like, come be in my Broadway show. So it was really oddly parallel.
Did he say it like that? Come be in my...
No.
I mean, Paramore was, I sat there with my mouth open because obviously any Cirque show is like not Fiddler on the Roof. It's just like people flying over your head and gymnasts and dancers and clowns and flying around with no net. It made a Spider-Man look like, a walk in the park.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like being on stage with all of that hubbub going on around you? It must have been thrilling.
It was so thrilling. We got to rehearse longer than a normal Broadway show.
I hope.
Because I needed to get used to watching these people defy gravity and risk their lives every day. And because we were on stage with them with no net, and if they fell, they would have either broken their neck or died. You never know. And we're still supposed to be in character, just pretending like everything's normal and fine. And meanwhile, I'm like clenching my buns, just thinking like, please don't fall, please catch her, please, and I'm like,
I'm clenching right now just thinking about it, and it's not attractive. Yeah, there's a lot of clenching. Now here's a question that I have, and I don't know the answer to this. Ruby, pull up this picture. There's another musical that I don't know what. What?
Ah, yeah.
First of all, hello. It's hard being you, isn't it?
That dress is in storage somewhere, and I'm like, why don't I have that?
Really. So that was Marilyn, the new musical.
Marilyn, the new musical. Yes, it was Tegan Summer and Gregory Neighbors. They wrote a musical that was all about Marilyn and her life, and it was mounted here in Las Vegas at the Paris, and it was really a glimpse into who she was behind the camera, out of the limelight, which was really awesome for me to play, because I've always wondered what she was like. She always put on her persona when we saw her, and when she was in her grand films and when she was out. But I had the chance to portray both that Marilyn, out and about Marilyn, on the big screen Marilyn, and behind the scenes Marilyn, who's having trouble within her marriage, and who just really wants true love, and who just really wants to be taken seriously. And we dealt with some of the drug usage, and how the studio forced her, much like Judy Garland, on uppers and downers, and it was really quite the undertaking.
Had you noticed, did you grow up knowing about this resemblance, or was it that show that, with the right hair and makeup and costumes, that you were like, holy Toledo? That picture is extraordinary.
I had the greatest hair and makeup and costume team, which I have to give them full credit for that. But it was weird. I was on tour. I think I was doing an interview. I was on the We Will Rock You tour, and I did an interview, and I said, I'd love to play, you always get the question, what role do you want to play next? What do you want to do next? And I said, I just would really like to sink my teeth into some biographical roles. I'd really love to play Marilyn Monroe one day. And I didn't come upon that interview until I was doing the Marilyn show. And I thought, wow, I put that out there. And then Tegan and Greg saw me doing Baz, and they asked me to take on the role. And I'm like, man.
Well, let's do that now. Put something out there. You do one and I'll do one.
Okay.
You first.
Put something.
Come up with a plan. Everybody at home, say out loud what you want to do.
Yeah, everybody, let's manifest something right now.
Yeah, I want to be an Osmond brother. Okay, that's mine.
I want.
I like this.
I want to be one of the greatest arts advocates for children in underprivileged communities.
Oh, yours is so good. Mine is less exciting and less possible. That's a beautiful thing. Good for you.
That's one thing that I think drives me to succeed, I guess, with whatever success means in this business, not just within musical theater, but in film and television. I just want a platform because I want to have the opportunity to use my voice and to use my stance and to create change. And my neighbors upstairs just flushed the toilet. Can you hear that? I call it the rain stick.
It sounded like a rain stick.
I call it the rain stick. I wrote a song called Rain Stick, actually. I should have told them to hold off until after this.
That is hilarious. Thank them for that. That's a really good laugh.
Guys.
I want you to sing for us.
Yes, I'm really excited to sing this song. It's it's the opening number from the one woman show that I did back in October, and I don't think a lot of people got to see it, so I'm gonna sing it tonight.
Well, we didn't see it, so we can't wait.
All right, let's see if all this works. This is a new setup. Someone has wounded you, dear world. Someone has poisoned you, dear world. And those who love you defiantly insist that you get off that critical list. So make your recovery quick, world. We're sick of having a sick world. We want you dancing tomorrow afternoon. So be a dear world. Rip the bandage off, dear world. Take the stitches out, dear world. And get well soon. Please take your medicine, dear world. Please make your fever break, dear world. Your vim and vigor are very surely missed. Help us declare you patient dismissed, and stand on your crutches with pride, world. You've got to save your own hide, world. We're not quite ready to trade you for the moon. So be a dear world. Take your medicine, dear world. Keep your courage up, dear world. And get well soon. That's great. It starts with an earthquake, aeroplanes, and Lenny Bruce is not afraid. Eye of the hurricane, listen to yourself churn. World serves its own needs, don't misserve your own. Speed it up a notch, speed grunt, no strength, no ladder with the clatter and a fear of heights. Wire with the fire, represent the 7 games and a government for hire and a combat strike. Left her wasn't coming in a hurry with the furies breathing down your neck. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. I'm fine. Wildfire
empires, drones strike America, the Fourth Reich impeachment trial, Kobe died, Harry, Meghan, goodbye, Overtime, Weinstein, also COVID-19, BLM, not again, police reform the government, we didn't start the fire, it was always burning since the world's been turning, we didn't start the fire, no we didn't light it, though we tried to fight it, dear world, take your medicine, dear world, keep your courage up, dear world, and get well soon. It's the end of the world as we know it.
Ruby, gorgeous.
Thank
You're
you.
so much fun. You're so talented. Thank you for joining us tonight. And please give everybody in Vegas our love. Oh,
I
Jackie Joseph says group clenching.
Hope you clenched your bums on that one.
Oh, we were all clenching like crazy.
Good.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much for inviting me. It just meant so much, and it's really good to see you.
It's
Been too
great
long.
to see you too. Can't wait to see you live and in person very soon, I hope.
I can't wait. Cannot wait.
Great. Thanks.
Thank you.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Thanks. Wow, 2 rubies in one show. Well, this was really fun. Oh, wait, I want to tell you about next week. Next week, we have jazz piano virtuoso Dan Tepfer. Look at that guy in the upper right-hand corner. He's like a movie star. Broadway leading man and concert singer Nicholas Rodriguez, another movie star. The original Belle in Beauty and the Beast, Susan Egan. A guy I saw on TikTok who is here, that guy right there. That guy. He has the most crazy beautiful voice, Charles Eastman, and Cincinnati Conservatory Musical Theater grad Jenny Mollett. She's right there. That right there. She will flip you out. The whole show is going to be so good. So join us. Ruby.
I'm sitting on my floor because my computer almost died. So it's currently plugged in on the floor. This is just I still don't have a couch. I'm waiting for my couch.
Oh yeah, because you moved.
So I'm sitting on the floor.
That's okay. We can't tell that.
Well,
this was fun tonight. It was a show with 2 rubies.
2 rubies, which never happens. We were talking, before the show that typically when I when I hear about another Ruby, it's either somebody telling me that their cat's name is Ruby or that their grandmother or their great grandmother's name was Ruby. And then they tell me that they died, but they were such sweet ladies. So really nice to meet another living, breathing Ruby. I appreciated that.
Yeah, she's terrific. Ruby's such a good name.
It is a good name. And
do you know what your mother was thinking when she named you Ruby? Like,
yeah,
was that after somebody?
No. So both me and my sister, my parents wanted to give us names that weren't common and that they didn't think were going to be common again, but they didn't want it to be something like Gladys or, something that really wasn't going to come back.
Right.
And so
that's tough on a baby Gladys.
Exactly. So Ruby and Ava, and actually what's really funny is every year, I always look at the top 100 names for babies. And even this year, they just came out with the list for 2021. Ruby is still not in that top 100, but Ava has been number 3 for the last 3 years. And so my mom always laughs because now literally everywhere you turn, you hear parents calling their kids, Ava, Ava, but you never hear Ruby. So
I love it. Both excellent names. I just wanted to mention one more time, if you enjoyed the show, and why wouldn't you, you can send us a donation via PayPal, via Venmo.
Or Pen Pal, as Julie Halston says.
Or Pen Pal, that's right. Feel free. And we are happy to accept those donations so that we can pay for the platform and send a nice donation to Save Birdland.
Maybe we'll hit the 400,000 tonight.
You and me?
Well, that'd be really fun. I just mean maybe the GoFundMe will hit the 400,000 tonight.
I'm going to look right now and see what the total is for the Save Birdland, because I can do that because I'm modern, and it's 391,468. So
Guys,
getting closer. It's very exciting. So can we see, did Squigs send his
yes.
the grand finale?
Yes, put on your
Let's
glasses.
see it. I'm gonna put on my glasses. Okay, go for it.
Bam!
Whoa! Oh my God, it's great.
And he included, that's the entertainment. Thank you, Squigs.
Look. I love this one. Oh God, it's so good.
And Jim, I want you to know, when I was watching you and Lisa, and I texted you and I said, I literally just did a spit take. I did, because that's the entertainment needs to be on a shirt now. It needs to be everywhere.
Or maybe on a mug.
Maybe
smart mug. You know, we sell all this crap. You guys, I guess I shouldn't call it crap.
Don't call it crap.
Crud. Merch.
Hidden treasures.
Hit that. Oh, there you go. PajamaCastParty.com. Mm-hmm. La 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 la. We have mugs, hats, shirts, all the crap you could ever want. And
you
the
know what? Maybe
mentioned shower curtain.
Yes, and maybe, you know what, Jim, you know, in the spirit of, you know, a new year and you know, listening to, I think it's always, yes, that is important, but I think it's always important too to take inventory of, you know, what our audience enjoys and what they want. If you guys have any merch ideas for 2021, oh, good, Jim, I'd like to have them put them in the live comments, because as a producer, I read these things. You know, I read when they say like who their dream guests would be, or who they'd like to be on the show again. But I'd like to know, is there merch that we don't have that people would go into a frenzy to get their hands on? We've actually had, it's funny, we've had, and I'm not kidding, Jim, and I'm not saying this because I'm on the screen, we have had requests every single week for mugs that say, oh Ruby, oh Jim, and I think it might be cute.
All right, we can do that.
But
Oh, Ruby. It should be a Squigs of me doing this and you doing that.
With little comic bubbles.
That's what I'm saying. This was fun. This was really fun tonight. Thank you, Ruby, for your technical brilliance. I could not do this, as I always say. God, I've said it a lot. If it weren't for Ruby, I would be doing this with 2 tin cans and some string.
Boy, wouldn't that be fun?
Join us next week. It's going to be really fun. And go to the savebirdland.com to watch the show last night and see that all the megastars and all the fun. Oh God, it was fun. Actually, Ruby's mother, Victoria Shaw, is in it. She sings a little song she wrote with Garth Brooks called The River. Hello, The River. Mm-hmm. That's a great moment, but there's so many great moments. So we'll see you next week with our brilliant cast here at Pajama Cast Party. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching Pajama Cast Party. To follow us on YouTube, just hit subscribe. Click on that little bell and we'll keep you updated on future shows. You can also follow us on Instagram at Jim Caruso's Cast Party. The end.